Alright guys, we're back with some more Dragon Ball Heroes content. We've tried Limit Breaker SSJ4 Vegito at 55% and he was amazing. Now it's time to try him out with the two dupes we did manage to pull. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments of Vegito. I've seen an overwhelming consensus about how good he is, and honestly I have to agree, he's generally amazing. Annoyingly, Cell is stunned right now, but that's fine. We currently do have Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Saiyan Roar, and Fierce Battle active. So we're starting the turn with a 372k attack stat, 203k defense, of course. We did have the entrance animation, which still unfortunately Global doesn't have voice lines for, even though Vegito is a dubbed character. So he does have that 30% chance to crit, 30% damage reduction, along with the 40% chance to crit and 30% damage reduction he already has for having a giant 8 power or crossover category character attacking in the same turn, which he's always going to have because our full team is built around those units. And some crossover into the other category as well. And I stand by this. We're starting with an 8.57 million attack stat, by the way, which I think that's like, what, like an extra mil or two? With a 6.1 mil crit and an additional with the extra 30% attack raise up to 9, which is probably going to crit as well. Yep, another 6.5. And then there's the third one, which is the dupe system going up to 9.4, which is also probably going to crit on top of that. Yeah, 3 back-to-back, almost 7 mil crits. The amount of damage Vegito can do is actually crazy. It is crazy. But in terms of Vegito, I still stand by what I said, which is I think his entrance animation conditions are generally like perfect currently for the climate of Dokkan. You know, with the introduction of we stunned him again. With the introduction of Fusion Zamasu, he generally has perfect entrance animation conditions. Not only is an extra 30% chance to crit and 30% damage reduction really good on top of the 40% crit chance and 30% damage reduction he already has, so a 70% chance to crit, which means you're critting on almost all of his supers and multiple at that, and 60% damage reduction being amazing. For 6 turns, which is sometimes, depending on the teams you're using, a turn too long. Because you're finishing on turn 5 against Fusion Zamasu. Sometimes it's ending on turn 6. So currently against one of the hardest enemies in the game, or the hardest, his entrance animation will literally last the perfect amount of time. And even if you manage to push into turn 7, Vegito might not make another appearance, which means you don't get to see him without the extra 30% crit chance and damage reduction. So currently I think they're one of the best in the game. So now we're linked up with the Easy 8 SSJ4 Vegito, so we're pretty much perfectly linked up. Along with having Vegito's support. So a 443k attack stat right now at the start of turn and 233k defense. This is also such a good rotation. Not only is Limit Breaker SSJ4 Vegito like amazing, but then Easy 8 SSJ4 Vegito 10 mil just like that. 10 mil just like that with a 30% attack raise on super and 150 attack and defense when performing a super attack. 10.7, and again these are all more than likely, more often than not, going to crit because of that 70% chance to crit on top. But it's such a good rotation, you know. Not only is Limit Breaker Vegito so good, then you got Easy 8 SSJ4 Vegito not only like pretty much perfectly linking with him, but then he's also a very good slot 2 unit, but then he's also providing that such good support that he has as well, which Limit Breaker Vegito benefits from his entire support. So he's getting what? Key +2 and attack and defense plus 60% in total, on top of already being as good as he already is, which is wild. Which is wild, because he didn't actually need to be made like any better. He's already amazing as it is. He was already amazing at 55%. So having 2 dupes, he's insane, man. He's actually insanely good. I kind of wish the other heroes units, they didn't have to be on the level of Limit Breaker Vegito, but I kind of just wish, like, Jeet's, Limit Breaker Broly, I kind of wish they were on, like, Rose's level, if not near it, in and about it. Because it makes them not unusable, but like I'm probably not going to use them outside of content reasons. Right, let's pop the active. I haven't got the animation on. I mean, we don't have voice lines, so it doesn't really matter. Big 7.57 million crit. Is it going to do what it did yesterday? Yeah, it must do. It's the extra buff. Because obviously not only are we raising our attack temporarily by 50%, or just greatly raising our attack temporarily, and of course now all attacks are going to become crits. But it must also count it as a super attack, which means we've got the extra 150% attack and defense on super at the start of turn, which is why we end up with 584k defense, along with, of course, his support, and then the 60% damage reduction we have right now as well. Which means once you use his active skill, as I said, he has Near and I with 2 dupes right now, almost 600k defense with 60% damage reduction. Which means, yeah, double digits. Even Fusion Zamasu probably won't really be doing any damage to him. And because of the active skill, we're going to guarantee crit as well, even though majority of the time he's going to be critting anyway. There's 2. The dupe system activates, we're going to hit 3. Like, deep that as well. Not only does Limit Breaker Vegito tank so well, we got to 11.2 mil, by the way. So not only was that just over 10 mil, then just shy of 11 mil, but then like just over 11 mil on the 3rd super attack. Altogether, that is in the realms of like 34, maybe even 35 million. And let's not forget, not only is he doing between 10 and 11 million attack stats, and he's doing 3 of them, he crits on the majority of supers as well, which means the actual raw damage Vegito is doing is generally ridiculous, while tanking as well as he does. He's actually insanely good. Like, they have smashed this year's Hero Celebration, especially him being as good as he is. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I generally believe, without trying him yet, that's fine, I generally believe he could probably walk Fusion Zamasu. Because not only is he going to do amazing damage, which is great for the first phase to get through it quickly, but he can contend with his AoEs with no problem with all that damage reduction. They done such a good job. As I said, it's just a shame that like Limit Breaker Broly, Jeets, and maybe even Metal Cooler weren't kind of like a step above as well. It would have been really nice. But he is insane. He was already amazing at 55% with dupes. He's actually ridiculous. Fair play to you guys who managed to rainbow him. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And peace.